When those trusted with upholding the law betray their oath, the consequences can be dire. Corrupt officers often believe they're untouchable, but eventually, their actions catch up with them. Here are 5 cases where rogue cops face justice and get what they deserve. Case 1. James Lujon. James Lujon, the former sheriff of Rio Arriba County, New Mexico, was sentenced to 3 years in prison for aiding a felon and intimidating a witness. How, you may ask? Lujon helped his friend and former city councilor Phil evade police in 2017. Additionally, he instructed his deputies to keep quiet about the incident. The following is Lujon getting arrested.
Cody?
Let's go on the
I can't tell.
side.
Why is that? That's messed up.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get him on the opposite side of this truck.
I got the press out here taking pictures of me in handcuffs.
Push him around into the doorway. Yeah, push him around into the doorway. At least to the doorway.
Keep him up there.
Come over here, sir.
Keep him up there.
Sheriff,
Go.
What are you doing?
Stay out here.
Just stop.
Jesus. Really?
You don't have to. Just stand.
When the officer arrives on the scene, another officer, possibly a friend of Lujon named Cody, asks about what he's doing. The new officer tells Cody he has a search warrant for Sheriff Lujon and the building. The new officer states he doesn't know why or what the warrant is for, and warns Cody to stay away while the other officers start to detain Lujon, cuffing his hands despite his refusal.
It hurts.
They're loose, sir. They're loose.
No, they're not loose. Stick your finger in there. Can you stick your finger in there? Yes, I can. Well, they hurt. Jesus. Can you take these handcuffs off? They hurt. They hurt. Am I under arrest?
You're being detained.
Well, yeah. Why do I have to have cuffs on? They hurt.
We'll take them off in a minute. This won't take long.
You have a search warrant for my iPhone. You got my iPhone. You want a search warrant for the building. You're searching the building. I don't know what you're searching for, though.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
You're not letting me explain this. So this search warrant gives me the authorization to seize your phone. Okay. Search your phone.
Okay.
But it also gives me the authorization. So what I'm asking for you to do is unlock your phone, unlock it, give it back to me, and I'm going to remove the security settings. I don't want your passcode. I'm not asking for your passcode. I'm asking you to unlock the phone. For the search warrant, you can read it if you want.
I will if I get a chance to talk to my attorney.
It doesn't work like that. This
Marty,
is not a negotiation.
get off.
Sheriff Lujon immediately starts to complain about his handcuffs being too tight, despite the officers being careful to keep them comfortable and assurance this would only take a minute. Lujon then starts to question whether he's under arrest, why he's being detained, and states he doesn't understand what the officers are searching for. The officers ask him politely to unlock his iPhone, as they have authorization to seize and search it, and are willing to show him the search warrant. Lujon gives the standard "I will if I get a chance to talk to my attorney" reply.
When this is all done, you can call your attorney. We're trying to get you to comply with the warrant. The warrant stipulates exactly what we want. You give us that, we'll get the phone, we're out of here.
Right now, I am under arrest.
You're
Because
detained.
I am under arrest. I am in handcuffs. I'm not free to leave. I'm not free to leave? Am I free to leave?
No.
No. Then, if I'm under arrest, I have a right to an attorney, correct?
You do,
Okay.
and I'm not questioning you.
I'm invoking
I'm
my
telling-
right to
I'm
an attorney
telling-
right now.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
So,
The officer tries to help Lujon understand. He just wants him to comply with the warrant. And if Lujon gives them what they're there for, he'll get his phone back and will be free to go. Lujon is in his own world, and instead argues with the officer that has placed him under arrest, not willing to budge and stating he wants his attorney.
come in.
Book me for what?
Booking for obstruction.
Not obstructing.
Take him over here to our unit. Take him over here to our unit.
They're gonna book me. Look,
Stop. Just walk.
I told you what the warrant stipulates. You have every opportunity to cooperate. If you want to cooperate, you're going to jail. Have a seat, sir.
Alright, you good? Why is already
take the whole thing off. No, I haven't been searched. Just take
step
me
out
so we
here.
can do it.
I just want to make sure you don't have any knives.
I don't have any knives. I don't have any weapons. That's my wallet.
Get your wallet. What's his keys?
My keys to my truck.
Can you head to the 81?
I don't have any weapons. Okay, I really don't.
With Lujon's unwillingness to comply, the officer orders his co-workers to book Lujon for obstruction. While they are taking him to the car, Lujon calls out to his friend, "They're going to book me," while fighting with the officers escorting him. It's simple. Lujon had every opportunity to cooperate with the officers, yet he didn't. Before putting him in the car, he gets checked in case of carrying any weapons, and according to statements by the district attorney, Lujon resigned after a few hours of being arrested. Lujon got sentenced to 3 years in prison, followed by 18 months of probation, after a jury found him guilty for harboring a felon and intimidating a witness. Case 2. Christopher Pullease. On October 26, 2022, a volatile situation occurred when officers responded to a call in Florida. The suspect, already in a police car, resisted, causing tensions to escalate. Sergeant Christopher Pullease arrived and aggressively confronted the suspect, prompting a female officer to intervene. Pullease, reacting violently, grabbed the female officer by the throat.
Stop pulling the handcuffs from my wrist. Hold it real quick so I can alarm like I'm running somewhere. I'm right here. Miss, can you stop pulling the handcuffs on my wrist? God, you don't listen. You're not stronger than me, miss. I'm letting you know that.
All right, let's go. We're going to take a seat.
Watch your head getting into the car. Ah, miss, can you stop pulling the cuffs?
Just get in the car and you'll be fine.
The officers have the suspect handcuffed and are trying to make him sit in the police car. Tensions rise as the suspect resists and continues saying stop pulling the handcuffs, while the officers try to manage the situation and are commanding him to just get in the car.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Pulling the cuffs on my wrist. I
Once
can't
you get in the
move.
car, she'll let go.
So what's he saying, pulling? So just get in the car.
You're gonna break my wrist.
All right, just get in the car.
Can y'all just tell her to stop?
Okay, get in the car. That's
Get
it.
in the car.
Just get in the car.
All right, I'm getting in. Get your feet in. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You want to play games? You're playing with the wrong motherfucker. You gonna mace me? Mace me. Look at me, motherfucker. You want to play games? You never get disrespectful with my...
Sergeant Pullease arrives on the scene and escalates the situation. He can be seen aggressively confronting the suspect in the back of the police car, shouting and gesticulating in a manner that appears intimidating, while the rest of the officers step back from the scene. All this after the suspect had already moved into the back of the police car as instructed.
Fall from your fucking body. Do what you gotta do.
No,
Get the fuck off.
just let it be.
I don't understand that.
We clear? Yes, sir.
That, please.
And I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
So, what?
A female officer, noting Pullease's aggressive behavior, intervenes by grabbing a hold of his belt and pulling him from the back, away from the suspect. Pullease turns around, visibly agitated, and confronts the female officer. He grabs her by the throat and pushes her against a patrol car. The female officer, stunned and frightened, tries to de-escalate the situation by backing away. Other officers on the scene look shocked but do not intervene, one officer saying just let it be, and Pullease verbally continues his aggressive behavior. The suspect in the back of the police car remains silent. Pullease eventually steps back but continues to glare at his colleague, his anger still evident. He shouts, "I want to see you in 5 minutes," as he walks towards his car. The aftermath of this incident was swift. Sergeant Christopher Pullease faced immediate suspension and was later arrested and charged with assault. Pullease's actions were deemed unacceptable, and he faced serious legal consequences, including potential jail time and the end of his career in law enforcement. Case 3. Christian Glass. On June 11, 2022, Christian Glass called 911 for help after his vehicle became stuck in Silver Plume, Colorado. Glass, in a distressed state, held a knife inside his car as officers attempted to coax him out. There was no need to threaten him with force, draw guns, break car windows, or fire at Glass. As the incident went on, the actions of the officers on the scene became more unconscionable and inexcusable.
Are there any weapons that you're aware of?
I have a weapon on me. I will throw them out the window as soon as an officer gets here. I have 2 knives and a hammer, and a rubber mallet. I guess that's a weapon. I'm not dangerous. I will keep my hands completely visible.
Both cars, be advised, this party is stating that he has weapons in the vehicle with him, 2 knives, a hammer, and a rubber mallet. He did state that he would throw them out of the window as soon as officers got on scene to make you feel safe.
Glass called 911, stating that his vehicle was stuck and needed help. About 3 minutes into the call, he began referencing skinwalkers. At another point, he tells the operator that she is his light after he's frightened by a sound outside. In the footage, he then tells the operator that he has weapons, 2 knives, a hammer, and a rubber mallet and promises to throw them out once the police arrive. The operator then shares this with the police, who are en route to get Glass.
Come out and talk to us.
Come on, dude. We're here to help. We're here to help. Come on, bud. Please push me out, ram me out, and I'll follow you to a police station.
For more than an hour, officers from multiple agencies attempted to get Glass out of the vehicle.
You need to step out of the car now. Step out of the car now. That's a lawful order. Step out of the car, you'll be removed from the vehicle. Step out now.
Glass repeatedly told officers he was scared and did not want to exit his vehicle. At the same time, officers voiced concern about the weapons inside of the vehicle.
You already said you have weapons in the vehicle. Because you already said you have weapons in the car. No, do not throw them out. Do not touch them. Do not reach for them.
He's got a knife in his seat right there. His seat, okay.
Step out of the car now. 161 at gunpoint. Step out of the car now.
Officers threatened to break down the window if Glass did not step outside.
Step out of the car now. I will break the window. Step out of the car. Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
Glass insisted he could not leave the vehicle and made mention of a mental hospital.
Keep your hands on the steering wheel then, and don't move. You reach for anything, we're gonna have problems. A mental hospital for what? We haven't even been able to have a conversation with you.
Glass is still sitting inside his vehicle, visibly agitated, as he repeatedly tells the officers he's scared and needs help. Officers try to persuade Glass to exit the car, asking him to step out of the vehicle now. Glass is hesitant, explaining that he feels safer inside. The officers insist, citing their concern for his safety, since he also has weapons inside and the knife is visible on his seat. When he offers to throw them out, the officers instruct him not to do that. In the back, an officer calls out to his colleague, 1161 at gunpoint. The officers tell him they have no choice but to break his window if he doesn't step out.
Preston? Will you talk to me? What can you tell me about what's going on? We're trying to help you out. You know, I see you're doing the heart thing with your hands. Look, we love you too. We just want you to be safe.
Another female officer steps in, getting closer to the window and tries to persuade Glass to step out, saying they just want to talk to him. Glass responds by making a heart with his hands but doesn't comply with the command to step out.
All right, we're popping. Dude, door section. Oh, this ain't working. All right.
Knife in his hand? Knife in his hand. Watch crossfire, watch crossfire. Watch out. Watch crossfire, watch crossfire.
The officers escalate the situation by breaking the car window of his passenger seat. Glass, startled and frightened, clutches the knife from his seat, crying out in fear, while the officers shout crossfire. Officers deploy a taser on Glass, who reacts in pain and confusion. Despite his distress and inability to react, the officers' aggressive tactics continue. The situation reaches a tragic climax when one officer, believing Glass to be a threat, opens fire. Glass is hit multiple times, succumbing later to his injuries, and the officers are left to explain their actions. The situation was so non-threatening that moments before breaking the window and the shots being fired, officers joked and laughed about sending in the cute girls. The unruly officer who fired took a scared and worried soul and extinguished it simply because they were impatient and it was time to move the night on. Officer Boone is facing charges after this incident, including second-degree murder. Deputy Kyle is being charged with criminal negligence, homicide, and reckless endangerment. Case 4. Phillip Mitchell Brailsford. Phillip Mitchell Brailsford, a former police officer in Mesa, Arizona, was involved in a controversial and tragic incident that led to his eventual firing and criminal charges of second-degree murder after the evil, undeserved shooting and death of Daniel Shaver, an unarmed man, in January 2016.
You do that again, we're shooting you. Do you understand? Please do not shoot me. Then listen to my instructions. I'm trying to do what you don't talk, listen! Hands straight up in the air. Do not put your hands down for any reason. You think you're gonna fall, you better fall on your face. Your hands go back in the small of your back or down. We are going to shoot you. Do you understand me? Yes, sir.
An officer then orders Shaver to crawl toward him. Shaver complies, but then moves his right hand behind him despite the warning.
The officers, including Brailsford, arrived at the La Quinta Inn and Suites in response to a report of a man pointing a gun out a window. The officers ordered Daniel Shaver, who is unarmed and intoxicated, to exit his room and lie down in the hallway. Shaver complies with the officer's commands, now visibly distressed and sobbing, repeatedly pleading with the officers not to shoot him and begging for his life. Brailsford, holding a rifle, begins giving Shaver confusing and contradictory commands by shouting at him and demanding that he crawl towards the officers while keeping his hands up, or else they will straight up shoot him. They make no attempt to listen to Shaver nor try to understand him as they instruct him, "Don't talk, listen." Shaver attempts to follow the instructions, crawling on his hands and knees, while occasionally reaching back to pull up his falling shorts, a motion that Brailsford interprets as reaching for a weapon. Despite Shaver's clear distress and compliance, Brailsford warns him that he will be shot if he makes another mistake.
Officer Phillip Mitchell Brailsford fires 5 rounds, killing Shaver.
As Shaver continues to crawl, his movements become more frantic and desperate. He reaches back again to adjust his shorts, and Brailsford, interpreting this as a threat, opens fire, shooting Shaver multiple times. Shaver collapses to the ground, lifeless, as the officers move in to secure the scene. After the shooting, Brailsford and the other officers approach Shaver's body, handcuffing him and checking for a weapon, which they do not find. The officers then proceed to clear the hotel room, finding no immediate threats, while Shaver's body remains in the hallway. It was later revealed that Brailsford discussed the incident with his fellow officers, expressing that he believed Shaver was reaching for a weapon and that he had no choice but to fire. However, the video and subsequent investigations reveal that Shaver was unarmed and posed no immediate threat. In the ensuing legal battle, Brailsford was charged with second-degree murder and reckless manslaughter, but was ultimately acquitted in December 2017. Despite his acquittal, the incident led to Brailsford's termination from the police force and a significant public outcry over police use of force and accountability. Case 5. Ryan Remmington. On June 1, 2024, Tucson police officer Ryan Remmington faced intense scrutiny after fatally shooting 61-year-old Richard Lee Richards, who was in a motorized wheelchair during a response to a reported shoplifting incident. The incident occurred when a Walmart employee noticed Richards leave the store without paying for a toolbox. The employee followed Richards into the parking lot and asked if he had a receipt. Richards then waved a knife at the worker and said, "Here's your receipt."
Bravo 1-8.
Bravo 1-8.
You sent me an 84. I have a male suspect that just shoplifted. Right in front of me, pulled a knife on me. He's currently westbound in the parking lot.
I need an additional unit to Bravo 1-8 at 1650 West Valencia Road. We're going to be 1039.
Bravo 1-8, copy. It's white male, flannel t-shirt, white hat. We're in front of the DD's discount. And Bravo 1-8, we're currently northbound on Oak Tree going towards the Lowe's. And Bravo 1-5 to 1U5. He's confronted by loss prevention. He pulled a knife on loss prevention while I was right there. And Bravo 1-8, we're on the east side of Lowe's in the parking lot, so we're just west of Oak Tree.
The incident begins with an employee calling 911 and telling them that a white male in a flannel t-shirt and white hat shoplifted in front of him, pulled a knife on him, and is currently in the adjacent parking lot. Officer Remmington exits his vehicle and runs towards the entrance of the shop. Richards continues towards the entrance of the shop despite repeated commands from Remmington to stop. Remmington warns Richards to halt or face consequences. Richards appears indifferent, stating, "I'm not going back to jail," and heads towards the nearby Lowe's store, ignoring the commands to stop. The footage shows Remmington becoming increasingly concerned, but he remains behind Richards, attempting to de-escalate verbally. "Stop, you need to stay," he shouts. Richards is wheelchair-bound, and as he approaches the entrance of Lowe's, with his back facing Remmington, there's no sign of weapons or a knife. Remmington fires 9 shots at Richards' back, causing him to slump over and fall from the wheelchair. He was then handcuffed. While waiting for backup and medical personnel, Remmington instructs another officer to retrieve the knife. The officers then begin providing medical aid to Richards, but he is pronounced dead at the scene. The Tucson Police Department later announced Remington's termination, and he faced criminal charges for the shooting. The incident raised questions about the appropriate use of deadly force, particularly when dealing with suspects who have physical disabilities. The mayor called Remington's actions unconscionable and indefensible.